We're here now with Katherine Heigl, and she plays an angry ex-wife in the new thriller Unforgettable, and she's upset that her ex is getting remarried. And in this clip, she confronts the other woman. Take a look.
Ask a woman.
Axe a woman?
Ask, like ask the woman the question.
Oh, ask.
Yeah,
I thought you meant like axe.
No, never ask a woman.
And I was
no.
like, that's a really
Unless
weird
she's
thing
coming
to
at
say.
you with a poker.
Yeah.
Unless she's coming at you with the poker, then you
Then you
axe her.
Yeah. Okay.
She's never gonna be able to live that down.
Oh no, that's amazing. I know there's so much danger in having a title like Unforgettable as your thing, and we were just talking about it, and it was so interesting. Like, I've been marveling all weekend. Everyone's been loving the movie. We're so happy, but it's not the thing that you always kind of just assume, you know? And so it was like, we're going there and we're doing this film, and you know, maybe everybody will be like, I've seen it before, but we really tried to do something really different. So it's been really amazing to have people like really enjoying it.
It was fun. It was really, what I love about Tessa too is that she's so evil, like mastermind.
Yeah.
I mean, she's always about 10 steps ahead.
I play Lilly, and she's very sweet and innocent, and she's 7 years old.
She's got to plan every moment of that. None of this is not orchestrated, and I cannot think like that.
She doesn't know that her mom is mean to Julia until that scene where she pushes her down the stairs, and my mom she pretends to fall. So Lilly doesn't really know what's going on, but she feels something.
Happiness, love, and you were crying, and I was like, those are real tears.
No, it was great. I think in that moment, you know, especially when we have that scene with me and my fiance at the police precinct, and you know, it's so earned, and those tears are so earned, and it makes me so happy that people aren't going, what the hell are you telling him about? I'm sorry, my ex. Go, Tessa's crazy. Like, have that moment, but it's not. Like, I think what you've earned is this person, and you've just gone through this journey with her, and you know just how deep that is, that like she's transformed, she's done all the right things, but there's still sometimes so much shame that we have, that we hold on to, and the doubts that we have, and it's like, you don't know that you really deserve that happiness, you know? And it was so interesting how she almost forfeited it because she didn't trust that it was really for her and that it could really be real. And it's beautiful. It's so beautiful to see how earned that was, and that then the story keeps going, and not in a way where you feel robbed, like, oh, come on, you're just delaying it. You know, like, you fall in love with these characters. I hope that you feel compassion for everyone. Tessa, my ex, when he comes into it, I think, you know, it just really shows you the missed opportunities that happen all the time with miscommunication.
When you cook for Lilly, and she goes, it's too spicy for her, and all the color people laugh. We all laugh. Laugh.
I love it too because that just like Tessa is so bland or something. Like everything has to be so like mac and cheese or whatever. But yeah, I love that because it just shows ownership in a very specific way.
I was very excited at first when I went to the first audition because it was a woman producer and a woman director, and I've never had that before. I've never had anything like that before. And so I knew if I got the job, I would be comfortable already even if she wasn't nice.
I know my child. You don't know my child. Yeah. And I know this kitchen. I used to live here. I know, I mean, she is just marking her territory all over the place, but in such a confident way, I guess.
I'm probably gonna get in trouble for this because I have a mother. The mother of my child will probably hate me for this.
Oh dear.
Shout out to you. It's just something about the mothers who they know what's up, and they always want to tell you how to raise your child. But it's also my child too.
Yeah. No, you don't know what you're talking about.
I have no clue. We need this way, that way, and nothing else.
You know, it is true, and I totally do that to my husband too. I will completely own it, but I do think I know better than he does how to raise the children.
Oh. That look, I saw the switch.
Yeah.
You went off the deep end in this movie.
Just a smidge unhinged.
A smidge unhinged.
Yeah.
But you got to play somebody who was really kind of evil in a lot.
Yeah.
Was that fun for you, though? Because we've never seen you play anything
It
like that.
was fun. I'm going to be honest. I know that sounds very strange, but there's a weird freedom to playing a woman who really is not a people pleaser, who is not trying to make other people happy, and who's not bending over backwards for other people's needs. It is all about Tessa and what she wants.
And it was a very severe look your character had.
Yes.
And did you like that as well?
Well, no, because it's really uncomfortable. Like, you have to, like I am right now, have to sit so straight when you're wearing tight dresses all the time, and you have to suck it in and hold your shoulders back, and the hair was always, like, meticulously groomed. So at night, it was just about throwing it back in a ponytail and putting my leggings back on.
And they're the
like this.
and they're the big congratulations in order. You just had a baby boy.
I did.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind year.
But what's been the toughest part about having a baby and being on the
There's
road?
my
There
fella. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
nothing
delicious.
like a baby. I feel like I can smell him through the pictures. But what is the hardest part about, working and being on the road and having a new baby?
Well, right now it's especially complicated because the girls are in school, so they're staying home, but the baby needs me to eat, survive.
Yeah.
So he comes with me, and I feel this, I think with every mother, it's just this sort of perpetual mommy guilt that somehow you're kind of like not nailing it. And to mess up his schedule to travel because of me and my work needs feels a little selfish. But honestly, I am gonna smack myself and get over that because I'm doing my very best. So
You absolutely are. You really are. And that's all mothers can do. Just do your best. And you have 4 kids at home and your husband, Josh, and I heard he likes to embarrass the kids a little bit. How does he embarrass the kids?
Oh, he plans it out. It's amazing. My niece lives with us, and she's a freshman in high school, so he has to drive her. We live in a mountain community, so the bus stop is like a mile down the road. So he has to drive her there every morning, and he gets up. It's like 7 a.m. He gets up. He's amazing. I have to give this guy so much props. But he puts on my pink robe, and he gets his cup of coffee, and he drives her down to the bus stop, and then he gets out of the car to wave her off in his pink robe. Have a great day, Maddie. And she loves it. Yeah, all her friends on the bus love it. He just loves to humiliate her.
And I'm sure she's begging, stay in the car.
Oh,
Don't get out the car.
She's just begging him.
Well,
please,
we
please
got a
don't
little
do this.
gift for him, so he doesn't have to take your robe.
Oh!
We got him his own robe, actually.
Oh, you
There
have
you
no idea how much he's gonna love this.
So, Josh, you can have your own robe. You don't have to wear your wife's
This
anymore.
one's even cozier than mine, honey. Oh, wow.
Can I confess something?
Sure, yes.
I was really very scared to meet you.
Me.
Yes, it's intimidating. You're gorgeous and talented and effortlessly beautiful.
Thank you. That's very lovely of you to say. And I was terrified to meet you.
You're gonna do great here. And your connection with David, you talk, you laugh.
What, you didn't?
Not really. But ours was a more physical thing.
I want to congratulate you again on the baby and congratulations on this movie as well.
Thank you for having me, love.
Thank you. Of course. The movie is Unforgettable. It is out tomorrow. Make sure you go check out Katherine Heigl.
Keep it going for Geoff Stults, guys.
Hi, guys.
Come on.
This is cool.
It's really cool. That trailer's pretty cool too, man.
It's creepy. Look at her. Look at the way she looks at me.
That was gonna be literally my first question is how did you handle that on set? Katherine Heigl staring at you with those eyes, man. It's insane.
I mean, honestly, I didn't like it. It was like, it was a little too real for me. Yeah. And she, I mean, to her credit as an actress, like, she really put a lot of time and effort into that character, and so therefore carried that around with her. So it wasn't like, whereas Rosario and I were like, just being jackasses all day long, having a good time. The dynamic with Katherine and everybody else was like, I mean, she was playing crazy, she was being crazy. Yeah. It's hard to it wasn't really fun to be around because I mean that was the relationship of our characters. So it was always at the end of the day it was nice to be around her when she was kind of taking her hair off and wiping that character away. But during the day between takes, she kind of stayed in it, between setups, and then, like, she and I over just, fart jokes and whatever else. But that was, I mean, because if you think about it, our relationship really for 2/3 of that movie is like, it was a love story between Rosario and I, and then, yeah, it's scary.
Your ex-wife gets involved. I mean, did she just like sit in the corner in a bag because she looks so put together? They like zip her up in something because like the dresses, the hair, everything looks immaculate.
Actually, yes, there wasn't. But that's what I mean. Between takes, she would sit and read, or she would sit and work on, reading the script, and Like, whereas I would just get up and I'd be like, oh, where's the free food? And but so she sort of stayed there and it's, some people work like that, and she really couldn't jump in and out of it that much because it takes a lot of time and effort to, I mean, she's not that in real life. She's not, but she really wore that during filming.
Now tell me a little bit about getting this role, man, because I mean, as far as roles go, it doesn't get much better other than Knives aside,
right?
Playing a brewery owner and being in a love triangle with Rosario Dawson and Katherine Heigl. I mean, when that came across your desk, what were you thinking?
That was one of those things is, I got this opportunity, I got the script and I read it, and I saw their two names on it, and I was like, well, this doesn't suck. And I did. I had to read for it, actually. I had put myself on tape, sent it in. I think I had missed the original auditions, and for whatever, I think the director was drunk when she watched my tape and saw something. And I went in and met with them, and I got the job, and it was all roses, and then you get to set, and you're like, oh, all right, these are people that I've been aware of, I'm fans of. I mean, both of them have been working since they were about the same age. I think Rosario was kids when she was 12 or 13, and my father, the hero, with Gerard Depardieu, when she was about the same age. So I grew up, I'm older than them, but I grew up watching them because I didn't start in this business till much later. So I got there, and it was intimidating. It was like, you got to bring your A game a little bit around these two. Yeah. I just try not to screw up the whole time, yeah.
Well, you definitely hold your own, man. You're so perfect for the role. I think they did a great job with that casting.
I don't think anybody else would show up, is all it was, yeah.
I think they would have. When you're drinking those beers, are those real or are those fake? You're taking a lot of swigs of...
Well, it's in the scenes when she was really mean to me, they were real. Yeah. That was kind of an interesting thing. The plot line of the guy being a brewery owner, there's a brewery in LA called Golden Road, and they set it up. I got to go tour around the brewery and hang out with the brewmaster and all that, and that was a much bigger scale of things. I've drank beer before. I like beer. I didn't know anything about the making of beer. I thought it was always at the store when you went to buy it. So that was it was a kind of fun little background of the character. But yeah, it was just for me, it was other than the just overall fear most days from Katherine and the intimidation factor between Rosario and Katherine, and then you add Cheryl Ladd, who's just still one of the most sexy people that I've ever seen. I loved it. I felt like I was, other than being the odd man out and terrified to speak, I had a great time.
Yeah. I mean, speaking about terrified, I think this movie, I got a chance to see it early.
Okay.
It's so fantastic. It does it really effectively. I feel like every moment is used to its greatest degree. Okay. And the music and does it feel like that on set? Are you actually jumping out of your skin? Because on the other side, on the audience side, you're definitely feeling it.
Yeah. This movie, I think it's pretty unique and something that needs to be talked about. It was, it's unfortunate that this is still even a hot topic to talk about. It shouldn't be, but it was written by, produced by, directed by, and starred by women. So that's there was
do a round of applause for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
More of that in Hollywood, please.
That has been something that throughout the press people are talking about quite a bit. And to be honest with you, it didn't even occur to me that was a thing. I got this job, and Denise Denovi, the director, couldn't be more capable. She's just a powerhouse of a producer. She's been around for years and years. So it's not like, so technically it's her directorial debut, but I didn't feel that way. I just felt like I was being directed by the best person for the job. That being said, it is the optics on this are unique. It's like, this is a thriller in the genre of, I'd say, Basic Instinct, Fatal Attraction, those kind of things. That's sort of feeling. But it's a new take on that. And one of the interesting things about this is we deal with a lot of things that are, have been around forever, domestic violence, but also cyber stalking and social media and some of the things that happen. And also, in a way, everybody, all of us, myself included, maybe myself the most, in a way, this guy's the damsel in distress, not them two. They're, you know, so, but we're all victims in a certain way. You find out, you know, maybe why Katherine might be the way she is based on her relationship with her mother, her past with the, you know, shame of domestic violence, and then, you know, where I'm at, kind of caught in between everything. But I think the sensitivity of all those things, having, you know, being directed by, like, just having it be a female-dominated experience, I think it was I don't know, better or worse. I mean, that was the only opportunity. It was direct. It happened. It wasn't a male director, obviously, but I think they did such a great job of making it. It wasn't about crazy. I think some of these other movies about, oh, that girl's crazy, the ex is crazy. It wasn't. It was more about, to me, it was more about this opportunity, and the situation led a very normal person to behave crazy, and then kind of the realistic part, the scary part for me, is that you could see how that might happen. It just, little by little, late night, glass of wine, getting on Facebook, digging into her past, digging more and more, and, like, you know, you spiral out of control, and then obviously it derailed in a way where she couldn't go backwards. But so I think all of that, if you take all of that into perspective, it lent itself to being a unique, really realistic portrayal of, you know, this story.
Yeah, they're all completely well-rounded characters.
Yeah.
I mean, they're fully seen through. And you mentioned it, absolutely the relevant topics. I want to discuss that. I mean, you know, the Facebook, the catfishing, and these are all things that are happening right now in our day and age, and you could absolutely see the scenario going down. I mean, what was that like to sort of see something so relevant and timely in a script as well?
Yeah, again, those are things like you read it and you're like, this is awesome and this is a great job and I'm excited to work with these people. And then when you kind of put the work in and think about it, you're like, man, this shit could happen. Yeah, this is why I'm not married. This is why I don't do Facebook. This is terrifying. Yeah, and I think this stuff really could happen. I think this is obviously an exaggeration of most people, but, you know, the crazy stuff happens. And yeah, we're in a day and age where, like, everybody in this room could get a message to me on some form, social media platform. They could reach out to me and I could reach back out to them. And that's, you know, that is, there's no anonymity anymore. I mean, we're all kind of, the world gets smaller and smaller every day. It's cliche to say, but it's the truth. And then because of that, all these social issues that everybody's always known about all these things, but they're ever present, and we're seeing them more and more and quicker and quicker. I mean, something happens, we all know about it immediately.
Yeah. I mean, at Geoff Stults. So if you guys want to direct any messages at
That's
him
right.
on the Instagram or the Twitter, here we go.
Yeah.
I was going to ask about the Facebook. I mean, have you ever received messages? I'm nothing like this, obviously, but something on the lighter side.
I have one right now going that's fantastic, and it's gone on for about 3 months, and it's this young lady who has invited me to Punta Cana. I think that's the Dominican Republic. Is that right?
Yeah. It's beautiful there.
For her 40th birthday. And the messages are like, 2 or 3 times a week. It's like, take a chance. I'm single. I live with my mother. I promise I'm normal. And she seems really, I haven't engaged on it, but she seems really nice. And I've actually looked. It's like, yeah, you can get to people. I've sent messages to people before, like, call me back. Can I have a job? Yeah.
100%. That's how people are doing it these days. Tell me a little bit about, seeing the final product, seeing it all come together with the music, the effects, everything like that. I'm sure it's a completely different experience than, when you're filming it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I have a bit of a superstition. I really don't like to watch anything that I'm in until I get to watch it with an audience, or if it's a TV show, and I want to watch it when the general public is watching it. So I saw an early cut, so I knew when we were going to go do reshoots, and so I could get back into the tone of it and all that, and a little bit for ADR. ADR is when you go replace the dialogue, additional dialogue recording, and I haven't seen it with the music. I haven't seen it with all the suspense. I haven't seen it since I know people were telling me, like, they're talking to the screen and they're jumping in their seats. So the premiere is actually is in a few days, and I'll see it then with with all my friends and family, and as I say that, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna be sitting next to my mom while I have sex with Rosario Dawson.
She's gonna be so proud.
Yeah, she's already texting when she sees the trailer. She'll text me, be like, you know, I can't watch it. I can't watch it if it's scary. Just tell me what happens at the end. And I'm like, there's no way I'm telling you. You have to watch it. But then I don't want to sit next to her when I'm
earmuffs, Mom. Earmuffs.
Yeah, like I'm gonna have to do that. Oh God, that's gonna be weird.
I will say that, guys, you have to see it with the audience, because I agree with you. I think seeing a horror film, I mean, there's nothing like seeing it with a crowd and having those reactions, those visceral reactions. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about your young co-star. You know, what was it like playing a dad?
You know, this was an interesting experience for me. I keep telling myself that I'm too young to be a dad. That's not true, obviously. So we cast this young girl, and I had to do chemistry reads with her and all that. And there's all these amazing little girls that come in, and they're better actors and more well-spoken than I am. I don't know how that's possible. But Isabella walked in, and it was like, yeah, you just like you always hear this thing about, you know, casting and getting discovered and all that. But she just walked in the room, and I was like, that's the girl. And I just instantly fell in love with her. We still talk constantly. I actually, before I came out here, she's on spring break, so we went for a little hike with my dog, and we had acai bowls. I mean, she's just like, I've never had a
good
dog.
dad.
Yeah. I'm like the goofy uncle that lets her get away with stuff. Yeah, and her mom's always rolling her eyes at me. But yeah, it's a really interesting experience to. It's one thing to have, you know, a fake relationship and a fake ex-wife, and you know, and as adults, you understand that we're playing make-believe. But these kids get attached. They get attached to mom. They get attached to the new mom. They don't, you know, I mean, they're young. So she was 8 when we filmed this, and just such a special girl. I personally wish that she would just stop acting until she was like 20 and go like be a normal kid, but that's hard. That's that's what she does. She's very talented. Her brothers and sisters do it as well. I'm jealous. I take that back. I want her to keep working because I'll be like, she'll get me jobs. She's much more talented than me.
Hey, you need a dad in this one?
Yeah, you need a dad? Need a dad? You're like, not anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if she'll be at the premiere, because I think that'll be a crazy experience.
I think there's the content. I mean, I think she'll do the press line and all that stuff, but I mean, she'd have to earmuff half the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about some lighter subject, you know, Wedding Crashers.
Yeah.
Well, I rewatched that recently, and man, tell me, that was such a great experience, I'm sure.
Yeah, man, that was early on in my career, and I had such a little part of that, but I'm so grateful. I had no idea. I was just like, this is awesome. I got hired to go be around Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson, who I obviously was fans of, and I had like 4 lines in there. And still today, people come up to me constantly, and they quote those lines. I didn't even know the lines when I was doing it. Like, the fact that people know them, but it's the kind of movie where you can watch it over and over again. It can be in the background. College kids, people watch it. It's just, and it's one of those that holds up. It's still hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, do they come up with you with the polo shirts popped and that sort of thing, and the sweaters over there?
Yeah, and a lot of people get, because it's Vince as well. They get my role in Wedding Crashers, and then the role in the breakup with Vince. A little bit confused. They know it's the same dude, but they're like saying the lines from one to the other, and I'm like, and now it's confusing me. Just to be around those guys, like kind of like at the height of their on their ascent, I guess, to comedy gods, I guess, that was one of Bradley Cooper's first things. And I think Rachel McAdams, I told the story the other day, as a young actor, one of the coolest things I've ever seen was watching a director direct a performance out of another actor by using the off-camera performance of another one. So he would give notes to Rachel off camera, and her performance would then dictate Owen's response. It was just like, and I just was like, this girl is incredible. And just rapid fire, changing thoughts, changing notes, and the way she would do. You guys will never see it because it was off camera. But I just got to sit there and stare at him like, oh, I'm out of my league here. Yeah.
Not at all, man. Not at all. And then working with Vince Vaughn twice. I mean, that guy is one of the greatest guys. I've gotten to chat with him a couple of times. I mean, tell me, there's got to be a great Vince Vaughn story. He's got to crack people up constantly.
So I did Wedding Crashers, obviously, and then the breakup came about, and I got that job, and I was so grateful. We shot that in Chicago, and Vince is from Chicago. He's a Chicago god. And one night he was like, "Come on, kid!" Like, you know what I mean? And I'm a big guy. He's a bigger guy. Like, so I feel like he's like his arms around me, and he was like, "Let's go have a beer." And I was like, "Oh, this is awesome." We went to this bar. We had a couple drinks. We're hanging out with some of his friends, and he was like, "We're gonna go to another bar." So I was like, "Okay, what can I do for Vince Vaughn? You know what I'll do? I'll run outside and I'll get a cab." So he was paying the check. He's richer than me, so he can pay the check. And I had a cab waiting for us, and I was like, "Okay, Vince, jump in." And he goes, "Come here." And he literally whistled, and a cop car drove around and picked us up and took us to the next bar. And I was like, come on, man.
That's a one-upsman right there.
He whistled, and the dude like zipped around. I'm like, what is happening, man?
That's legendary right there, man.
Yeah, it is.
Wow, that's incredible. Talking about the future and everything like that. I mean, you got some great projects on the horizon right now. We got Granite Mountain.
Yeah.
We have the Horror Soldiers, I believe, is also coming out. Tell me a little about those experiences. First, Granite Mountain, of course. That cast is ridiculous.
Yeah, Granite Mountain's a really special project. I think for those of you guys who don't know about it, Granite Mountain is based on a horrible incident about a fireman, wildland firefighters, forest fire firefighters, and outside of in Arizona, outside of Prescott, Arizona, 20 guys went in to fight a fire to protect the town, and horrific circumstances led to 19 of them passing away. So it's a story about them. It's Josh Brolin, Miles Teller, Jeff Bridges, Jennifer Connelly, Taylor Kitsch, James Badgedale, and then there's a bunch more of us. The great thing about that is that we had an opportunity to tell a story. It's not about their deaths, and we all know that happened, but it's really about their lives and the sacrifices, and I really feel like a tribute not only to them, but to the people that they left behind. And one of the unique things about this, a lot of times when Hollywood gets around to telling a story of people, it might be, there's a lot of this happened a long time ago. These guys, it's 4 years ago. Their families were on set. We met their wives, we met their kids, we met their parents. So that we all felt the gravity of what we felt was our responsibility to do them justice, do these guys justice. I mean, their kids are some of these guys that they're going to know more about their dads based on this movie because they're so little when they passed away. So for me, as an opportunity to be a part of something much bigger than I was, I felt really grateful. And it was interesting how, as actors, we really just enjoyed that experience. And it's silly and maybe a little cheesy to say, but it brought us as guys together a lot. I'm still on a Granite Mountain group chat, and there's 20 dudes on it, and it goes off the creepy stuff that's on those texts all day long. I mean, when you get 20 guys, it's a locker room. And the other thing is that we had the unique opportunity to have two of the guys that actually were on the crew and knew all of these dudes. They were in the movie. One was our technical advisor, and one actually, Brennan Bunch played. He's a fireman, and we wanted him in the movie, and he played his best friend who had passed away. So there was no day that we couldn't see him and realize how important what we were doing was to him and his family. I mean, we were literally playing his best friends that passed away. So, and then the other one I'm super excited about is another true story called Horse Soldiers, and it's based on a book, and it's about the first American Special Forces responders to Afghanistan after 9/11. And I think everybody can remember the feeling of helplessness and where they were at after 9/11. Certainly, if you were old enough to remember that, I mean, I know I do. And this is about kind of the guys that the men and women in this story. It was 12 men in uniform that went, and we really didn't know what was going on. The intel told us, who was the bad guy supposedly, and these were the first guys, and they were so early. There was no U.S. military presence in Afghanistan at that point. They were just 12 dudes dropped off 8 hours away from any kind of backed up, and they partnered with the Afghan people and to battle the Taliban. And one of the things that's great about this, first of all, it's another incredible cast. It's Chris Hemsworth and Michael Shannon, Michael Pena. Those guys are just awesome to be around. I mean, Chris is annoying because he's so damn good looking, but It is
Another
annoying.
tall guy.
Yeah.
How you find guys taller than you, man?
I don't know, man. Not only is he tall, he's just like all day long. He's like standing there. His hair is perfect. Like he's got a sexy accent. It's like, come on. My mom's sending me stuff that he's posting on Instagram. Like, is he a good father too, or is this bullshit? I'm like, yeah, he's a good father. It's so annoying. But we that's another one. It was just like that was kind of one of those movies where you're just like, yeah, this is. I made it. Like I'm playing dress up with some of my best buddies. We don't have to do hair and makeup. We're running around shooting guns, riding horses. It was a blast.
That's awesome, man. Can't wait for people to see those in Unforgettable. I think we have some questions in the audience.
Oh, yeah.
So right there.
Hey, what's going on? Thanks
What's
for
up,
being
dude?
here.
It's a good looking stash. I like that.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. I must ask you a question.
Yeah. Oh, I set myself up for that.
Okay, sit
I
down.
set myself
Next
up for that. Good work.
Stand up.
So you've obviously been on the actor side of the camera. Have you thought about being on the other side, the director side? And if so, what kind of project would you like to work on?
You know, it's something I think a lot of actors think about. I think about it all the time. I feel like my skill set is probably a little bit more, I respond more to the producing side. I do feel like as an actor, you learn a lot, and I would have it, working with a lot of different kind of actors, I think I'd have a unique outlook and could speak actor. I'm really intimidated by the editing process. I don't like, and I know some people are, that's their skill set. And I mean, I really think there's three really distinct aspects of making a movie: pre-production, casting, shooting, and then editing. I mean, it's just three totally, it's like the difference between being a great actor and a great auditioner. Totally different skill sets. So yeah, the answer is I'd love to, I'd love to direct at some point. I need to get a grasp on the editing process a lot, or otherwise you're giving your baby away to somebody else that's a better editor. And but just like, and I know movies can be made in the editing room, and you can. It's really interesting how you can tell a different story just based on the way you edit it or add music or the tone. So I'm not quite there yet with it, but at some point in my career I'd love to. I'll start small, maybe a short, and always comedy.
There we go. I like that. Next question.
Hey, I'm just curious, what was it like working with T.J. Miller in one of the earlier movies that you did? She's out of her league. And is he really like his characters in real life?
That dude is amazing. Yeah, TJ is. Yeah, I mean he's pretty close to that. He's hilarious. We did that movie together, and that was one of the fun ones in my career. I think She's Out of My League was a bit of a throwback type romantic comedy thing to like some of the movies that I grew up watching in the 80s. But yeah, TJ, he's got a personality, he's got a presence about him. I wouldn't say he's exactly like that, but he's incredibly intelligent. He's much smarter than I am, way quicker than I am. So he's similar in personality and his ability at improv and the way he thinks to Vince Vaughn. Like you really gotta be on your toes around those guys, especially between action and cut. They're way better than we are.
Awesome. So one last question right there.
Hi, I was wondering, as an actor, do you prefer TV or film? And you spoke about privacy, so I was wondering if that affects the roles that you choose.
Wow. Okay. I would say this. When I first started in the business, it was much more streamlined. If you did television, you did television. If you did film, you kind of did film. And today, with all the different ways that content is available to people, actors are just kind of going to where the story is, and the writing. So it's kind of the Wild West. I mean, that's why you see so many people that you never saw do TV doing TV now, because there's less and less statistically movies being made every year because there's 2,000 channels that you can watch great content on, and you can watch every single thing that's out there on your phone at some point. So yeah, I don't have a preference anymore. I do really love the live audience aspect of television. I mean, the comedies, certain comedies, and that's kind of like, it's just barely hanging on, that genre. They're not doing a lot of those anymore. And part of that is because people aren't growing up in the business learning how to do live audience, and it's a different skill set. I just, just by dumb luck, learned how to wait for an audience to stop laughing and say your line. But I love them all is the answer. And I feel really lucky that I'm been able to bounce back and forth throughout my career. And I think that good work begets better work. And I just, these opportunities breed other opportunities. And I'd like to, so right now I'm also on a show called The Odd Couple, which is with Matthew Perry on CBS. And so I went from doing this movie about the firefighters to The Odd Couple to then doing this war movie. So I think I'm really lucky to do all of them. And privacy, that's, I haven't really experienced anything too weird in my life. But when I did the breakup, there was a National Enquirer article that came out saying, because it was like one day I walked like from lunch to the trailers with Jennifer Aniston. So, and they desperately wanted Jennifer Aniston to be dating somebody. So they're like, dating her co-star. It was the coolest I've ever looked. It was like National Enquirer. It was my then girlfriend on one side, me in the middle, Jennifer Aniston on the other side, Vince Vaughn up on top, and then Brad Pitt on the bottom. And it was like, it was the coolest I've ever looked, and that lasted for about 4 seconds. But I did have people like breaking into my apartment complex that I lived at, because that was like right when paparazzi and all that kind of was happening in the States. So that got a little weird. But once they actually looked in my apartment, then they saw my brother and I sitting in our underwear on a shitty couch playing Nintendo. They're like, this is embarrassing. Let's leave this guy alone.
That's hilarious. Well, guys, check out Unforgettable in theaters. You have to see it in theaters. Check it out this weekend. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah.